The effect of the traditional game program on the lone lives and the self-efficacy of elderly with dementia, Lemina. This study was conducted to replace a traditional program for the elderly to prevent dementia and investigate its effect when the traditional program is a study on how it affects the loneliness and the physical self-efficacy of the elderly with dementia. The progress of the age generals is one of the new social programs that have not existed before, and the government and society need to pay attention to it. Introduction is the development of the civilization. Today, the standard of living and the modern medicine have been developed, extending the average life expectancy of the human life. Taking the above studies together, it can be estimated that facilitated family support and adaptability have a mediating effect in the relationship between studies dealing with compatibility, understanding of the relationship between the whole measure variables have been remarkably lacking at the time, and the number of the elderly people is including academic consideration and exploration are urgently need to support the successful against of day care centers is essential. This is and to establish and realize the meaning of the life in the old age. In addition, it is essential to study the physical and the personal competencies of the elderly for the life on the elderly, working away from the negative view of the elderly program. Therefore, this study aims to explore the relationship between loneliness and life meaning by setting loneliness and social self-efficacy as the mind variably affecting the meaning level of their lives for the elderly over 80 years of age. Theoretical background: understanding the elderly with dementia. Understanding elderly it as dictionary meanings of the old people because they are old, meaning the elderly to middle-aged and old age people or those in the social conventional age group, and also use words such as the elderly. However, the reason why and it is not easy to define exactly which period as the elderly is because the concept of the elderly might differ depending on the national, social, economic, and cultural background and customs and norms of the society or the tradition and history of that society. In modern society, as classified as the elderly is around 60 years old, the retirement period of the social roles and the career men and the woman as 65 or older, although are classified as the elderly and necessary welfare services are provided. Therefore, in this study, the elderly are classified based on the above criteria, and elderly age 85 or older are considered. So far, we would like to understanding that these scholars characteristic of the elderly with dementia, the care for and protected by their families as the production and the support function of the elderly by their families deteriorations the cultural value change. Understanding the traditional games program. Traditional games refers to the spirit that has been handed down from ancient times. Customer behavioral styles or core, and they have the historical vitality in the community, the meaning, and the valuable cultural heritage. Traditional game has been defined as various games passed down by the related sector. Since ancient time, traditional camera customer that there have been continuously handed down and passed down from the ancient time by the private sector and generally practiced and can include beliefs and values that have been cultivated since ancient time is defined as traditional games. In the late edition, it was defined as unique cultural forms that contains life and values created in the traditional society and based on the long life. It contains various lifestyle wisdom and self-research lifestyle and seasonal customer of the hour and started geographical and regional characteristics. Traditional games are passed down to discontinuities and ideas. Regulations, customer and regulations which have been established and developed over the long time by ground member and specific social society and general concept of the traditional games should we have the unique characteristic only of the continuous and specific unicity of the community on the promise of the time. Traditional games have their own traditional rules. The traditional games all have rules, and these rules are of sovereignty building in the deterioration of the play. So if the games proceed and ignores the rule of the play, the world of the play collapses and that moment. Therefore, the premise that traditional games play by no winning, losing, and the winning define the basic art of the causing compassion. This rule out our basic conditioner that make your emotion to play and the control and the tension that are called the help the also the driving force be having continuous play. Full play is the game play to the participation in the interest of the large number of the member of the wrestler continues and play in the term of the group social and text practice. Therefore, they practice forming and maintaining and fuel boost through group play and experience social interaction through the process of the setting rules and setting the order to play more. Recently, in group play, there are rules that the group members must follow together. Here in the rule gives members a sense of the cooperation in that the homework that must be observed together and they hold hands in this competitive games where winning or losing indeterminate and dictionary means of the wrong analysis, mean analysis and solitude as the becomes very lonely as the lonely because in the alone or has no presence the really. In this respect, loneliness can be seen to be related to lack of the intimacy or the lack of the social relations. Loneliness is defined as the present experience that occurs when the desires in addition, loneliness and defined as the subjectively possessed and social isolation. Loneliness is the said to be a state of closet historical and occurs in the homes and the place to be obtained from others cannot be obtained. Summarizing and thus scholars view in the loneliness about the following communication activity and can be found. First, loneliness. So across the hand, there is the discrepancy between and the individuals' actual social relationship and the social relationship that the individual need other and second because loneliness is subjective experience difference from objectivity. Social isolation. Humans may not be lonely even if they are alone, and they may be lonely even in the crowd. So the loneliness can be seen as a present experience. In general, the elderly have it difficult in the social activities due to the decrease the intellectual ability, so reduce social activities, retirement, and the decreases sense expected when the elderly populations is the gradually gains, resulting in problems such as physiological, society as will be as the physiological health problems or qualitative data analysis study on the listeners topic. Related to exercise for the elderly suggest strengths of the elderly to from the sports after addressing their physical scans in the consideration of the physical condition such subject. This study is to the improved quality of the life of the elderly with the grasping their demographic background, vulnerabilities, and the physical self-efficacy, targeting the elderly admitted to be the daycare center. Participants were selected according to the following criteria. First, the elderly who had diagnosed with dementia by the specialist. Second, the elderly who participated in the forum. And the third, the elderly without serious balance disorder were selected as a qualitative study. Source participated observation of the study, information of the subjected recording and the observational log of the therapist whereas as a data. Ethnical condition for ethnical constellation of the subject participating in this study, global and the start of the study. In addition, all data with that used for purpose other than research and the subjected announcement and explained. It also explains the consent to participate can be used at the time according to the will of the subject and the gardener even of the study is underway, and the consent obtained after exploring the prices, stories, period, and the personal information confidential data analysis in order to achieve the purpose of this study, and the data analysis method is the mixture of the qualitative and the quantitative. Both elderly's observation area and the content and the dance record video was the transferred to the computer using the Korea programs. Conclusion. Additional games first show the effect of the role analysis in the elderly. Family relationship role analysis, social analysis, and the sense of the belonging. Therefore, as a result of the comparing the post-evaluation score of the experience groups and the control group after the experimented and the treatment and the experimented groups show and significant higher score in the social activities, stability and cooperation data, control group and show significant lower Ronis's score. Thank you.